Yo, it's your boy Deezy. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Hit that share button and like this video. Should a man get a DNA test for a child if he's married or in a relationship with the mother? How do y'all feel about that? Should the man just trust the word of the woman? Trust how he feels about the situation and just say, this is my child? Or is it just important to have clarity and be sure that these are both parents? That the father is the father? Because I'm going to go look at some stats on Google, and I looked at one where it said 32%, which is a third, of men that get a DNA test are not the father. 32% of men that get a DNA test are not the father. Should we not acknowledge that? Because I know some mothers feel some type of way when you tell them that you want to get a DNA test. And the first thing they say is, so you think the child isn't yours? You think I've been sleeping around? I would be honest with you. All the things to convince you that you shouldn't look at getting a DNA test. And some people have the faith in the person that they've been with that they wouldn't do it, that they wouldn't put them in that situation to not be the parent. You put faith in this situation. And if it comes out that the child isn't the father, do women still feel some type of way, or they just move on and say, oh, well, it's not his? I wonder if anybody can tell me what that feeling is for a woman to tell a man that this is his child, and then the DNA test comes back that it isn't his child. Is that something that you just say, so what? Or do you feel some type way about it? Because I know the man is going to feel some type way about it, especially if he's been taking care of the child. If he's the type of man that take care of the child and he's there for the child and spending his money on the child, and then the child comes out not to be his, that would make any man feel some type of way. Anybody. So it's very important for you to get a DNA test. It's very important for you to be certain. And no woman should feel some type of way if a guy says, I would like to get a DNA test. There are some guys that might sneak the DNA test. Swab the baby, swab the woman, and send it off themselves. I know somebody that did it personally, and it came back that the kid wasn't his. But he thought the kid might be his. I think the mother was saying that it might be his, that it is his. And then he took the DNA test and it came back that it wasn't his. That's how important it is to get a DNA test. And you never want to just sign the birth certificate. Because if you just sign the birth certificate, you don't have the same rights to get a DNA test in court. You can get a DNA test in court, but it has to be under certain circumstances for you to get the DNA test after you sign the birth certificate. You got to have some evidence showing that the mother knows that you're not the father to get that back in the court. But 32% people that take a DNA test find out that they're not the father. So that lets you know how important it is, and that's a third. That lets you know how important it is to make sure that you're certain. That has to be a hell of a feeling to participate in the child's life and then to come to find out that the child isn't yours when the mother said you were the only possibility of being the father. It's only you. And you see it over and over on Maury. You watch Maury, majority of the women say that the kid is his. This is his child. I'm 1,000% sure that is his child. And then it comes out that the child isn't his. And the guy might have grew like an emotional attachment with the child. And some guys on there say, no matter what, I'll be there for the child. When reality starts setting in, that this child isn't yours, you're taking care of somebody else's child, the mother has lied to you, that weighs on somebody mentally. How do you expect a person still to function mentally when all these things is going through their head? You can't. You might try to focus in on the situation, but you're going to continue to think about the child isn't yours. And then when you might have those discrepancies of the parent, the mother and the father, and the mother might be holding it on you as if you are the father, but you really not the father, that's going to run through your brain like, this isn't really my kid. And I noticed that moms will big up the people, the guys that step up and take care of somebody else's kid. Because it benefits you. It helps you out. So, of course you're going to be excited about that. But what about the women that say that the kid is this person's and they're certain and it's not? Is there any care behind that? Do women really care about that? It's important to get that DNA. It's important. Forget that the child looks like you. Y'all got some of the similar features. You acted like this when you was a baby. That don't hold no weight. That holds no weight at all. The DNA is everything. And I'm sure as if a man is in a relationship or if he's married to a woman, he might not want to come out and say, baby, let's do a DNA test. I think we need to make sure that this is both of our DNA. The first thing the woman gonna say, so you think I've been cheating? You think I would lie to you? You don't trust me? It's not even about the trust. It's about we're human and things happen. People have fallouts. People go on breaks. Sometimes people entertain things that they shouldn't and put it in the back of their mind as if they didn't. I didn't do nothing. So how does it come out that the child isn't the father if you didn't do anything and you see it? Or a woman to tell you, I didn't do nothing. I swear I didn't do anything. Well, how is the child not mine if you didn't do anything? There's no explanation for that. There's no explanation when a woman finds out that the child isn't the person that they said the child was. It's just, oh well, you wasn't shit anyway. That's where it goes. Not accepting the responsibility that you misled the situation and you was wrong. It's fight back with ignorance and say, so what? So it's very important for everybody, even for the mother. She should get a DNA test because childs get switched at birth. Mistakes happen. It's nothing wrong with being certain about if the child is yours or not. You feel me? It's nothing wrong with being certain. Because if you there for a child day in and day out and the child's not yours, you're going to lose some type of connection. Some type of connection is going to be lost. And you might really want to be there for the child. You might really care for the child. But most of life is mental. It's mostly mental. It's partially physical. Because mental is what takes us in and out of situations. Mental what makes us believe certain things. Mental what gives us these feelings about different things. Mental what makes us think the way we think. It's mental. Life is mental. It's mental. It's mental. So all the fathers out there should know, get a DNA. No matter if you married, in a relationship, if you feel that the child is yours, get a DNA. So that you can know. And never sign the birth certificate before you get a DNA. Because once you sign the birth certificate, the child is yours. No takebacks. You own that responsibility. You accepted it. You acknowledged it before you were certain. Should a woman come and tell a man, I had other partners, I was involved with other people, so it's a possibility that this child isn't yours, or she should just see who's playing a better role in the situation, because that happens too. A woman might be dealing with multiple partners and she see that it could be this guy's or this guy's child, but this guy here is more involved in the situation. So she's going to allow him to go ahead and play that role. But at the same time, she thinks it's the other guy's child. But being as though that this guy is playing the role in a bigger part, she's going to accept that he wants to be the father and deny him, the other guy, of being the father, because she accepts the position this guy is playing. But all along, she really thinks that it's the other guys. Why do women go on like that, knowing the situation ain't that? Is that like a time being thing? Something like, I'm going to deal with this because this is for the meantime. He's showing the most attention in the situation. So I'm going to accept that my child has a father figure in this situation. How does that sound? How is that? And there's plenty of women like that. There's plenty of women that will tell you you're the father, knowing that she thinks somebody else is the father. But it's filling a void at the moment for her. It's filling a void for her at the moment. It's a void being filled. That emptiness. So, should you just trust what she's saying? How many guys done trusted that they were the father in a situation and it came out that they weren't the father? They trusted that this woman was going to tell them the truth, and she lied to them. How is that? Why is that so hard? It wasn't hard for the decisions you made to go ahead and mess with this person and that person. And there's women that be a little loose and might sleep with the same guy on the same day. So they might really not know. But they want this person to be the father because they see he might be a little more stable. His stability is stronger. So they want him to be the father. But the guy that might have gave her some good sex that she was a repeat offender with, he ain't shit. How does that go? How does that go? How does that go? Somebody that she knows ain't shit is the father, but the good guy, she want to pin the baby on him. That's when they say the saying that nice guys finish last. Those guys finish last. Those guys finish last because when the child gets grown, the child's going to tell that person that you're not my father. I don't have to listen to you. But this is the person that stepped up in the situation, took care of the child, was there for the child, but the child doesn't acknowledge that. Now that got to be a hell of a feeling. For you to step up and take care of a responsibility that's not yours, and then the child talks to you like you ain't been there. Talks to you like you don't mean anything. That might give a feeling to the person that's in that position like, damn, this is the thanks I get. You're not going to always be rewarded for stepping up and doing something you feel that's right. You might feel that this is right because it's a child and, you know, you want to be there for them and you want to put that figure in their life. But then what about when they turn on you? It's like a lot of things in life is so mental. Because if you in that situation and the child turns on you, all you can say is, oh well, damn, that's messed up. All the effort you might have put into that situation, to that child, didn't mean nothing. Didn't mean nothing. It is important to get a DNA. It's real important. It's very, very, very important. And these things ain't talked about enough because it's a 32%. Let me look that up. 32%. Okay, hold up. Let me look that up. Hold up. Of men that take a DNA test are not the father. Yeah. Let's see here. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Okay. All right. It says most paternity test labs report that about 1/3 of their paternity tests have a negative result. Of all the possible fathers who take a paternity test, about 32% are not the biological father. But remember, this is 1/3 of the men who have a reason to take a test, not 1/3 of all men. Okay. That was in 2010. So now I say 30%. What percentage are not the father? Okay. So now in 2022, the study published of human reproduction developed into the data of 1211 men seeking paternity test services in the United States. Finding revealed that 11% were not biological fathers. And these are the people that are testing, not the people that are ducking. You know, some people that be ducking. You know what I'm saying? Some people that be ducking. Some people, they some good duckers. They don't get found. There's a DNA test. Raise another man's child. Let me see that. Research published in 2016 indicate that up to 2% of British fathers unknowingly raise a child who is biologically fathered by another man. 2005 Scientific Review International published studies of paternal Discrepancy found a range in incidents around the world from 0.8% to 30% paternity fraud. Okay. Now, can a man sue a woman for lying about a paternity test? Yes. A man can sue a child's mother if she lied about him being the father. According to the statute of limitations in California, filing a petition to disestablish paternity is 5 years. So check that out. Check that out. A man has 5 years to file a petition to deestablish paternity if he feels or finds out that the mother lied about him being the father. Let me see here. Okay. What percentage of fathers are not the real father? Most paternity test labs report that about 1/3. So that's 1/3, what they said. About 1/3 is not the father. Let me see what this is. Can two men be the biological father of one child? The male has all of the important information on his copy of the X chromosomes. The egg would be fully functional. The second father would need to provide the sperm sample. Although this is possible, a surrogate would still be needed in order to carry the child. Let me see. Hold up. This is one right here. Can you go to jail for lying about who the father is? An example of paternity fraud would be a mother claiming a man is the biological father of her child when he is not, so that she will receive child support. In the United States, paternity fraud does not break the law, so it is not a crime or punishable offense. It's not a crime. It's not a crime for a woman to say that you're the father and try to take you to court for child support. That's not punishable. Let me see here. What percentage of the DNA tests are wrong? In cases where you get a quality DNA test from our reputable facility, DNA paternity tests are over 99.9% accurate. As long as the test is performed correctly, it can tell with a high degree of certainty if two people are related. Okay. Hold on. This is one here, right here. Hold up. Can you mix two male sperms? A single sperm is used to fertilize a single egg. The question that often comes up is, can both guys from a gay male couple mix their sperm together? The simple answer is no. So you can't mix two sperms together. That's what the fuck is saying. Can't mix two sperms together. What is the penalty? Okay. It said, what is the penalty for lying about your age? A misdemeanor conviction may result less than 1 year of jail time and criminal fines because many of those types of cases arise with a minor lies about their age. They may face consequences intended for minors, such as time in juvenile facilities and programs. Can a mouth swab DNA test be wrong? If you have the swab carried out in a lab by a professional, a cheek swab can be as reliable as an actual blood test, just without the needle. While mistakes, false positives, and false negatives do happen from time to time, we take steps to ensure the accuracy of the tests and results. Mm. Mm. Yeah. I said, is there actually an epidemic of men raising kids that aren't fathers? The estimation is about 1% of fathers are raising a child that they don't know was not theirs. This estimation comes from genetic analysts. It comes from genetic analysts. Yeah. So it is no no paternity fraud with that. Your father's not your father. Yeah. I wonder how a person would feel if the mother let them go their whole entire life till they was an adult and then tell them that the father that they thought the father isn't really their father. That's deep. So now you got to look at your mom like, what's going on? What happened? But, some people forget that their mom was once young and she probably did damn near the same thing you did. So, when people say, oh, my mom is not like that, you don't really know how your mom was because you weren't around when she was young. You don't know what she was doing. So you can't vouch for that situation. You cannot vouch for that situation. Okay, it says 98.75 positive equal negative DNA paternity testing. So it says, yes, it is possible for a DNA paternity test to show a negative result when the man is actually the biological father? Come on, man. It's a lot going on with that. So it's really possible for a DNA test to say that the dad isn't the dad when he's really the dad? Yeah. You definitely want to get a DNA test if you've been sent child support papers. Mistaken paternity. A genetic test is necessary to determine mistaken paternity when a man is ordered to pay child support but does not believe he is the father of the child. But does not believe he is the father of the child. When he is not the father of the child. Let's see. It says DNA test shows 70% kids not born by men they called fathers. Yeah. Yeah. That is deep. Yes, it is deep. father, insight from recent studies of paternity test. Yeah. What does DNA test say when you are not the father? If the tested father is not the child's biological father, the results will be exclusion of paternity. The probability of paternity in this case would be 0%. And the statement of results on the report will read, the alleged father is excluded as the biological father of the tested child. Okay. I don't understand DNA results. How many men are only raising a child? Let me see what that says here. What does that say here? Understanding the DNA. Let me see the results. Understanding your DNA test results is fairly straightforward. Once you know what data the results actually give you, for many people, this will be the first time they have undergone any form of DNA test. Both child and father. Paternity DNA test. Depending on your individual needs, there are different paternity tests from which to choose. Sometimes an individual simply wants a paternity test for their own peace of mind. And for this purpose, a home paternity test kit can be used. If a DNA test is required for legal purpose or is needed in an immigration case, then more stringent collection methods needed to be used so that the results will stand up as evidence in a court of law. So you can get a test from the Walgreens, but I guess those tests are just for your peace of mind. They're not for court. They don't hold up in court the same. So that's just for your peace of mind. Yeah. That's what it says. In the test, 20 genetic markers are compared between the alleged father and the child to determine whether or not they match. Only 20 of those genetic markers are actually compared because the 21st is only included to ensure that there has been no mistakes in the labeling of the sample in the home DNA test. This last genetic marker is called the amylogoin. I don't know how to pronounce that. Sex gene. And determines gender. Okay. So the 21 test determines the gender. This last, genetic marker is called the amylogenin sex gene. And determines the gender. By testing this, the laboratory can be sure that the sample labeled as the alleged father is actually from a man and the mother's sample swab have not been placed in the wrong envelope. Okay, now I understand that. Okay, the 21st test determines if it was from the man or if it was from the woman. And that they didn't switch the envelope. Yeah. And there we have it. There we have it. There we have it. It is important to get a DNA test, whether you think the child is yours or not. It is important. So, fellas, make sure you get a DNA test. It's your boy DZ, man. Leave a comment. Let me know how you feel, man. It's not about the setback. It's about the get back. Now.